It's my first attempt at a live video from Hall 5, the NEC Classic Car and Restoration Shows. Proper barn find, ran when parked. I mean, it says Morris Minor Community, but it looks suspiciously VW-like. 76 Lotus Plaid DeLorean. I don't see these in the metal very often. Should probably make some sort of joke about flux capacitors, but I will resist the urge. There you go. Deceptively spacious in there, I would say. There's a real mix of traditional classics, exotics, and there's some wonderfully ordinary cars as well. They're just an absolute joy to see being sort of proudly displayed at shows. It's a bit of a celebration of the, not like the festival in sectional, but it's certainly a celebration of the ordinary as well as the exotic. Oh, Tickford owners. That's interesting. If you don't know what a Tickford is, Google it. Really cool thing. You just never see these, and then all of a sudden there's 4 in a row. Here, oh, a Corsair. Isn't it great to see cars like this at a show? I'm quite sure what that's all about. I think there's been some 70s homemade garaging going on there. When in doubt, get the WD-40 out. Are you working on this live at the show?
We're the Corsair Club.
I think it's brilliant to come to a show like this and see projects and ordinary cars and what actually goes on behind the garage door.
Almost a complete car yesterday morning when we started.
Wow. So you bought a dustpan and brush then for this one? Occupational hazard. Thank you ever so much for your time. Thanks, bye-bye. That's going to be a donor car for the estate over there. Let's see what's on the board. Oh, here we go. So it's on the to-do board, everything that's going to be going on with those. That's fabulous. I do. There's just something about the Corsair estates that I find deeply cool. Citroen 2CV is my first car. My dad told me if I could learn to drive in one of these, I could drive anything. And he was right. These are great to drive. Baby Ferraris. Very, very well earned nickname indeed. Another never ever not cool car for me, P1800. And a nice brick. One lady owner from you. That is a proper garage find, isn't it? I'm not sure that's going to be a financially viable Resto. Always really busy with parts and clothes and accessories and some fabulous auto jumble. Also very nice sausage rolls. Can confirm. Ooh, what's this? Yeah. Ooh, vintage vehicle transport by the looks of it. One thing we do with classic cars is end up with them on trailers from time to time. Now, the unloved Aston, which I actually love. Always a big fan of a Marmite car. And crikey, this is definitely one of those. Do we like a Lagonda? What do we think? Let me know if you're a fan. Would you do? Love it or crush it? It is really interesting to see some of these. Do you think they brought them here and then chucked the dust on? So many parts that might otherwise be quite difficult to find that you can pick up at an auto jumble. So this is a great spot for a dealer because you've literally got all the auction customers walking past you. And we go to the Iconics auction. Hiya, thank you. This is where you come to register for bidding. Get a paddle number. Did have a go at a Shadow earlier that I really fancied, but it went for more than I was prepared to give. This I really like. It's the Daimler 2-door pillarless coupe. I think it's juniper green with lovely tan interior. Right, we'll just have a little quick look round here. No reserve car. Just really worry about the dreaded rot on these. Right, you can see the stickers that go up as soon as they're sold. There's plenty to go at in terms of project cars, recommissioning project cars as well. 91 Turbo R. No reserve. Oh, I'm going to go back and see what that sold for. Very interesting. Problem with restorations these days is just figuring out what is a financially viable resto, or if you don't care about it being financially viable, just being able to restore something. These are incredible when they're done. But again, that is not for the faint-hearted. 57 Jensen, 541. Be fabulous when it's done. But it's going to take a big pair to buy it and do it. Right, and then we've got 3 spirits here. All nice cars. How are these not more money? And I know what everyone's going to say. It's all about the running costs and the fuel and the servicing. But do you know what? For a Sunday smoker, if you're using it as a hobby, there's worse things you can spend your money on. I'd rather have one of these than a golf club membership. We are quite Rolls and Bentley-tastic today. This is the Shadow that I was interested in, but it went for more than I was going to bid. These are a lot of fun. Got lost in 7 chummy. Right, wouldn't be a classic car auction without an XR2, would it? What a trip down memory lane for so many of us these are. Did you have one, or did you have a 1.1 pop and put stickers on to make it look like one? Wow, there are, let's have a look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 or 9 minis down here. I mean, looking around the sale room already, it's 2:30. There are a lot of cars that have sold. I don't see many cars that will have already gone through that haven't sold. Please make sure to check the underside of this car. Right, so this must be like absolute new under there. What do you think about classic minis? Are they still as popular as ever? I don't see the fan base for these going away anytime soon at all. This is right up my street. 76 Fiat 124. That's tidy under there, isn't it? None of the dreaded rot on this one. So there you go, my first attempt at a live feed from the NEC Classic Car and Restoration Show. I hope you enjoyed a brief look at how the day went. To listen to my full auction report with predictions and results along with Richie Barnett from Classic Car Weekly, please do search for Wheels and Deals wherever you get your podcasts.